Hi everyone. So I was inspired to do my quote a little bit differently today. Instead of giving you a written explanation of the quote, I was really guided to do this video instead. So first I want to tell you what inspired me to do the quote, then my explanation of the quote, and then of course my invitation for the quote. So what inspired this quote? It was actually from the show Doctor Who. And Donna Noble, one of the characters, a companion, the past companion of the Doctor, had said to him, you're always talking, but you don't say anything. And that is when Spirit interjected for me and said, the ego's always talking, but it's not saying anything. If we really dive into that, the ego never says anything new. The ego is either trying to bring the past into the present, which sometimes it succeeds in because then we're seeing the same thing over and over and over again, or it'll bring fear, or it will try to project into the future, which also brings fear or anxiety. That's all the ego does. It doesn't do anything else. It's not saying anything of real content. It has, all it's going is blah, 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 blah. You know, like on Charlie Brown, when the teacher, is talking and it's just wah, 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 wah. That's the ego. That's all that it does. And if we give it attention, that's when we start to hear it more. And that's when we start to give it more attention, which means we're giving it more power. And the more power that we give it, the more our eyes will report back to us the belief in what the ego is saying. That's all that it is. And I want to give you this example. So first, our eyes do not see. They report back what we believe. That's the first thing. Second, here's our example. So let's say you go to work and then all of a sudden you get laid off. Now, of course, who's going to talk first? The ego always speaks loudest and always speaks first. So it's going to be speaking first. Look what either it's going to go into blame of another person or it's going to blame yourself. It's going to start projecting all these things about fear. Oh my God, now I don't have enough money, and how am I going to pay for this, and how is this going to happen, and that going to happen, and blah, 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 blah. Okay? It's going to bring those things up. Now, what you can do, because you always have free will choice, you can choose to listen to that voice. You can choose to go into victimhood. You can choose to go into that. And of course, I'm not saying don't acknowledge it. Of course, acknowledge it, but you don't have to feed into it. Okay, that's the key here. Yes, feel the emotion, feel the upset, feel the fear. That's okay. But don't dive into it. Don't feed it. Don't really kind of go down the staircase. Because if you do, that's when it gets a little bit harder for you to get out of it. So we recognize it, we see it, we say, okay. And then what we can do is we can shift. We can, instead of paying attention to the blah, 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 we can pay attention to the small, still voice within and say, okay, you know what? I'm willing to see this differently. I'm willing to see this differently. I ask for your vision to show this to me differently. That's what we can ask for in any given moment. That's it. And this actually ties in to what I was saying yesterday on my live video, which if you didn't catch it, I will post the link below in the description of this video. And it's about being like little children and not pretending that we know anything. So my invitation to you today is a very simple one. Which voice are you listening to? Are you listening to a voice that's just wah, 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 wah? Or are you listening to a voice that actually has real content and is willing to help you? Remember, the ego, is it really helping you? Is it really assisting you? Is it helping you to move forward on your journey? Or is it simply keeping you in the same loop again and again and again and again? So that's going to end it for me today. I don't know if I'll do another video quote explanation or not tomorrow. We'll just have to see what happens. But I send you all my love.